Hello and welcome back to another video on how to become a business consulting freelancer. And the funny thing of this is that because I went over to all of these four models, where the first is looking at how to get started building a freelance consulting career, okay? And in there I look at the fundamentals like cash flow, flexibility, and the freedom that these lifestyles give you as well as content related to what you have to do first to identify before going on into this specific into that specific niche. Understand also what are the tasks that a consultant does, which is conduct a research, analyze the data, and then present the results, and how you can then apply that to a particular niche that you are interested in. Okay, in my case, it's as a software engineer because I would like to play this long-term game with a lot of people in that industry. So also I look at some other fundamentals like time management or time blocking, find a way to get you into the zone, eliminate distractions, as well as don't forget to take breaks and do what is important today and urgent by following is the Eisenhower matrix, such as do the important thing and the urgent today, things that are important but not urgent, schedule things that are that are urgent but not important, delegate, and ultimately things that are not important and urgent, don't even pay attention to that. And then on the second model is like, well, now that you know the fundamentals, it is time to look at how to get started as a freelance consulting career. And here is first, well, understand yourself. So capitalize on your strengths, identify your weakness, your working style, and then choose a profitable niche. And a niche is something that have common traits like people. Niche is not a keyword. Niche is a group of people that they have a large problem to solve, that they actively look into a solution. There are people that are willing to pay for the solution, and ultimately it must have something that you have interest in. So then a look at how you can align to a platform to improve in that area, as well as how to create a value statement. And also the things involved into that, such as understanding the scope of the work, as well as asking a couple questions here, such as develop clear deliverables, ask how success is going to be measured, and be huge on communication because you don't want the client think that you forget, even though that you're working behind the scenes. So send an email here and there to check for the client and also to keep up to date with them. Following is the Scrum methodology actually help vastly, especially in remote environments. So this now lead to the value ladder, especially as again you are looking or I'm looking here at this course to see how can I become a business consulting freelancer. So setting a value ladder is very important. By again, this is just as a guidelines that you might take, such as offer free consultation at the beginning, and then the goal is to push the client up the value ladder by making a project audit, and then suggest a 10-hour package. And ultimately the holy grail of all of this business is to have recurring client that they pay you for the value you are providing. Okay, that sounds good in theory. Now it is time to put that at practice by creating a service agreement and now find and land high paying consulting clients. So there are several places where you can start, like Upwork, Fiverr, and freelance. The whole point of this is to not only identify that, but also understand the pain points. Like having a business is not sunshine and rainbows. So you have to ask yourself what I'm doing right now to put me in the best possible position. Um, this is a numbers game. And also remember that the importance of showing your face, especially if you're going to provide a digital service, as well as to improve your image and your communication skills, such as not only the communicational aspect, but also the teamwork and conflict resolution. So then I look at some sell tips, okay, that will help you to land high pay consulting clients. So in there, I saw the TLDR of the solution selling process, which is a methodology created in at One Laboratories, once one of the largest computer manufacturer in the world on the US in 1970s. And Frank Watts, which was developed that methodology and then presented at EBN, and they create an agency to teach a lot of people that. So this solution selling process is based on identify the needs or opportunity of sell leads or prospect to solve the problems or the challenge that they're having, right? So this will work for products that doesn't require that they sell out of the box, so they don't need any middleman, that so they can sell out of the box, they can sell out of the shell. Okay, so for example, water, Coca-Cola, right now, right? So water, Coca-Cola, food. I will remove Coca-Cola here, but like water and food. Okay, so they don't need that. So this is especially good for tailored solutions for sell leads or prospect. And well, to identify is what are the needs and the opportunity that the client needs to, and from there present the solutions to their problems, to the challenge they have. So with that understanding, I look at the couple series of steps that will help me as a business consulting freelancer to identify clients and to improve my business as well. First is the prospect journey. So identify is your sell leads or your potential clients, uh, and then you make a list of them. So what you're doing is here try approach to them, try to get an initial talk to them, and then you qualify them to see what are the clients that they actually want your service. And this is all about asking the right questions. And then you now create a video call or sell leads to them. Okay, something that I'm going to recap here, especially on the solution selling process. Okay, which is for this the prospect journey. Okay, this is when you find the right client and you start to reach out to them. You try to get in front of them to get their attention. Sorry. Okay, this is the prospect journey. Okay, so the prospect journey, that's when you find out your right client or your right or the several clients. You start to reach out to them to try to get in front of them to get their attentions. Then you qualify them. This is when you look at all the different clients and prospect. You figuring out who actually are a good fit or what actually are a good fit. And this is all about asking the right questions to see if you to see what the client is expecting. Okay, so to see what the client is expecting and what problems they need to solve. The qualification. So you have the prospect journey. This is when you find the right client. You start to reach out to them. You try to get in front of them to get their attention, and then you qualify them by looking at all of the clients and different prospects, figuring out what the this is to figuring out what are a good fit for you, and this is all about asking the right questions to see what the client expectation is and what problems they need to solve. Okay, so prospect journey and qualify. Then you do a demand discovery calls when you already qualify them to do even more fact findings. Okay, and ultimately ask for, can we move forward with this, or this is gonna end right there, so I can move on to next project. And if the client agreed to reach to some sort of agreement, okay, this is when you, for example, the client say, hey, awesome, let's send me some information about what you want to do. Now there, in there, that's when you're gonna use all what you have learned and your expertise to outline different couple offers that they can go with and also add value. So this fourth step, okay, so once you add these different options to the client as well as the what are the value you provide to them, you add different options so they can pick that and ultimately close the sale. So this prospect or this complete this prospect is something very, very, very important as a business consultant. And over my past several months of experience, I slowly developed this skill, and also, I wasn't able to provide as well as the value the client is seeking because, after all, I'm just continuing in this learning process, not only of the software engineer, but also at the how to become a business consulting as well as the finance, uh, improve my physique, maintain my body. Uh, so yeah, basically, basically is that. And once I look at this prospect, okay, or this series of steps that will help you vastly to uh, to avoid get burned, okay. So Paul Mann does recommend follow this approach. So otherwise you might quickly get burned out and unmotivated. However, if you follow this process, you put all of this tip into actions, you can have much more success as a business consultant. Okay. Again, one of the things that take me quite amount of time to understand this is now I'm looking is from the sales department, right? From the sales optics. And well, because my whole career has been focused is on another language, Spanish, and as a software engineer, now I need to also look at this. So the sales aspect of. So okay, all right, completely cool, cool. Yeah, completely, completely. So after I look at this solution selling process, okay, based on these consultation sell tips, okay, which is listen more, uh, use speed, use solution selling process, and add value. Okay. Then I look at other important topics, especially as a business consulting, such as how to invoice clients. First, get the service agreement signed, and then, which is something that I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Uh, so do that. Period. So do that. Do that. Do that. Do that. Uh, so applying this consultation sell tips, right? Like listen more, use speed, use solution selling process, and add free value. And using the solution selling process, which is identify the prospect journey, or looking at the prospect journey, the first step of the solution selling process, identify the prospect journey by looking at the right client and try to reach out to them, try to get in front of them to get their attention, and then you qualify them by looking at a list of clients and prospect and decide what are a good fit for you. And this is all about asking the right questions to understand what the client is expecting from you and what problems they need to solve. Okay, example of this is as a software engineer is like, okay, I am a Node.js a Vue developer. This is what I can provide, right? I can provide the server and the server and browser applications. This JavaScript full stack application. So that's my offer. That's what the problems I can offer. And that are the problems that I can solve or provide, such as chat application, real-time communication, or landing landing page uh, handled by editors. Okay, so there is no need to be a tech savvy to handle this. So yeah, that's the product that I can provide as well, and also web applications with this latest web technologies. So okay, all right, cool, cool. So once you qualify that in, then you do a demon discovery call to see uh, not only to qualify them. So once you are qualified, then this demon discovery demo is to do even more fact findings about if I'm a good fit for you and if you guys or girls are a good fit for it, and can we move forward with this project, or this is gonna end right there so I can move on into the next project. So add value and send proposals, okay, which is the ultimately. So once the client say, hey, all right, once you reach to some sort of agreement, the client say, okay, great, send me some information. This is where you compile and you do everything that you have learned to tell them, hey, this is the different offers that I can provide, as well as the value from that. So using this framework will help you vastly to be a successful consulting freelancer and to avoid burn or to get unmotivated quickly. Okay, so the key takeaways of this is that solution selling is diagnosing the need of a prospect and then recommending the right product or service to solve the challenge they are having, which is exactly what they're doing. For example, a lot of people out there that they are, for example, providing is some sort of philosophical guidance or self-help. You know, most of the time, self-help. It's like that. So they are diagnosing the need of a prospect and this huge variety of people using this solution selling process. So they diagnosing the need of prospect, and then they recommend the right product or service to solve the challenge they are having. Okay. So the other thing after that is to tackle all objections that arise. Okay, this is how much it's gonna cost, and what is the what is that gonna benefit them. Okay, because most of the objections boil down into time, budget, and value. Okay, this is something that I also can apply. So, what are the main objections here? You know what I mean? For example, here. For example, here. Since I already sent, what I mean is a proposal. That's right. Where is the active proposal? The invitation submitted. This is something that I can apply also as well. You know, it's like okay, so what I'm doing is just to pondering everything that you have learned into things like okay, so how can I apply everything that I have learned so far? You know, uh, then I look at the how to handle client payments, the freelance website, and personal invoice, and then scaling to multiple consulting clients, which is the ultimate goal of that. Okay, okay. So one of the things that you can say is okay, all of this theory, and then apply that to the and put a practice. Put a practice. Okay, section four is that how to conduct a proper research and gather quality data. The TLDR here is to recognize that data is something powerful. It can help you to influence, persuade, or reinforce your point of view, but also can be misleading. And especially if you're conducting a consult or if you're conducting a research for a consulting project, well, identifying is the most valuable source. Data that come from the company, first party data, from trust sources, and aggregate sources that the quality of these sources cannot be verified or you cannot know who the author really is. But in other words, if you can access to the first party and second party data, or there are few sources, or they're not that reliable, then go to the third party data once you conduct the research. And from a broad perspective, well, first, play devil advocate with yourself. they see the things from different perspectives, don't forget to gather relevant data, okay? Take notes and keep record of every source you obtain, qualify the data, and don't forget to circle back with the client. So then I look at a practical guideline so how to do that. Okay. So Paul Mendes mentioned that especially where he conducted research on a tourist website, okay, which is this. So he see things like this. He has this series of steps, okay, or these guidelines, where now first he look at the website and understand what they're offering, all the product and service, and then go into the specific about the categories, what makes this company unique, the review of the company, because this is what you're gonna use to provide suggestions in your consultation, and then if you can have access to the first party data, look at what they have done in the past, how they have been performing, and see how you can provide your suggestions based on that. So once you do that, then you move the competitor analysis. This is to figuring out who the other players are in that industry. Uh, See what they have done. What they're doing. What you can learn from them, and create a keyword research that you're gonna use now using tools like Keyword Research Planner to give you an idea and understand what's going on in that industry. And then on top of that is what you going to look at world news to get real feedback from the world, and understand that everything that you have researched, okay, meaning looking at their website, then understanding the specifics, see what they have done in the past, how they have been performing by looking at the first party data, then switch to the competitor analysis to know who the other players are in that industry and understand them, see what you can learn from them. And by making a keyword research, you can now use that to understand using keyword tools out there online from Google or from any other provider to understand what is going on in that industry. And then on top of that is you do this word, or you get this feedback from the word, this word news, to understand, okay, everything that I have researched, what is most likely to work today. And that include here is see how this industry is adapting to regulations and where this industry is going, which is something that I did especially as I want to create an e-commerce. But because building an e-commerce, which is something that I need to then redefine, reshape that, okay? So building an e-commerce is not an easy task, okay? However, there are a lot of tools, web tools out there that allow you to make it easy. So because I just want to make our life much more easy, and again, this is a little bit off the scope of from this course, I'm just going to change this. So instead of creating an e-commerce, I'm going to start small with a blog, okay? And from there, okay, you can scale that up. Because here what I saw is this. Okay, because uh, once I conduct this research based on the e-commerce, first I need to understand what an e-commerce is. and that is look, yeah, what an e-commerce is. Okay, and that is look at the different source and understand that, so you can create your own opinion matrix based on what Amazon mentioned about e-commerce, which is the trade and good of is the trading of good and service on the internet. So you can think of them as your city bustle, or your bustling city center, or your brick and mortar shops convert into zeros and one on the internet superhighway. Shopify mentioned that yes, while e-business refers to all aspects of operating an online business, and the specific business activities are marketing, which is derivative. Marketing is where they do a market research to develop a marketing strategy, and then create ads campaigns to later on monitor or handle manage the social accounts. Sales is to identify potential leads and sell leads, uh, do a video or call sales, reach to some sort of agreement or negotiate agreements, and then close deals. So then you have is the finance, which records every transaction, uh, or record every financial transactions, as well as creating a report, financial reports, and pay taxes, among other stuff. I also look at the HR, which are responsible to hiring and training employers, as well as managing benefits and wage. Uh, yeah, managing and administrating uh, benefits, payrolls, as well as uh, handling conflict resolution, right? As well as handling conflict resolution among employers. In the ops or the operations management, well, they develop the production process, improve existing one or create new ones, check the quality, check and set the quality standards. The information technology are responsible to create network systems, develop and implementing software, providing technical support, and ensure data security. When a customer service, they address customer inquiries, handles complaints and refunds, provides well technical support, and verify the customer satisfactions. And then you have is the research and development, where their responsibilities for develop new product or implement existing ones, create patents for that. So with this huge overview of the specific business activities, okay, e-commerce refers exclusively to the transaction of good and service on the internet, according to Shopify. Great. So with that, then now I need to understand what are the type of e-commerce, the actors involved in the e-commerce, and how they relate each others, aka this business model. So you have is the business, governments, and consumers, which are the actors in this model. All right, where now business to consumers are the most widely business model use, such as online retailers like Amazon, Costco, Target, digital marketplace like Etsy or eBay, subscription service like yeah, subscription service like Uber, or subscription service like Netflix, Spotify, ordering and delivering food apps like Uber, DoorDash, or Grubhub. So yeah, this is the couple example in there, right? Just to recap this couple example here, okay? And online travel and booking, like because I barely travel, but that's another thing. So online travel and booking, such as Booking.com, Airbnb, Expedia. Now, uh, business to business, here you have is online platforms like Amazon, e-business, eBay business, or Alibaba. Permit and licensing. I mean, uh, uh, electronic data interchange, which are traditional paperwork that were made on paper. Now it is done electronically through these EDI systems, such as IBM provide that. Online portals or polar supplier portals, where very large business organization needs to set up online supply portals to streamline their supply chains or procurement process, which aka this is involve the purchase or sale of good and service, usually to get a good bid or for apply to government contracts. Okay, this procurement process. Uh, so here you have supply center from Walmart or SAP Arriva network, wholesales, but now manufacturers and distributors sells that to business, sell goods to business like Uline and Granger, and business to business payment solutions such as PayPal or Stripe. Then I look at the consumer to business, such as freelance work, online survey like SurveyMonkey, crowdfunding, Indiegogo, Kickstarter, user-generated content, where now consumers can sell their audio, video, and image to Shutterstock, for example, or Envato, the Audio Jungle from Envato, and in a reverse auction, here is consumers can submit a price quota for good uh, provided by this business in a reverse auctions. Then I look at now the relationship of the government to business, such as public procurement portals like the FBO in US, the Federal Business Opportunity, or the Contract Finder service in the UK. Okay, the whole idea of these public procurement portals is to provide online portals so business can bid to government contracts. Another example here is licensing and permits, such as food license or building permits, tax payment and filing system, such as the electronic federal tax payment system on the US, or the HM custom revenue in the UK. Mhm. As well as business registration, such as the SBA on US, business registration, the SBA on US, the Small Business Administration, or the UK Company House, and custom clearance and international trade, such as electronic custom clearance or export declarations. Then I look at the relationship of government to consumers, okay, such as tax payment portals, where now citizens can pay their taxes through options provided by the government, such as the IRS in the US, driver licensing and or vehicle registrations and licensing, uh, such as the Department Motor Vehicles and the California vehicle registrations and licensing. uh, where now citizens can apply, where now citizens can renew or apply. Uh, yeah, where now citizens can renew and apply. Uh, mhm. Yeah, where now citizens can renew their license or apply for new ones. Passport applications and renewal, like the U.S. State of Department, like the U.S. Department of State Passport Service, or the UK General Office, like the UK Government Official Passport Service, online bill and payment, as well as order and birth and death certificate, such as the UK General Register Office, or the yeah, such as the unit General Register Office, or the whew, yeah, such as the UK General Register Office, UK General here, such as the UK General Register Office, or the US National Center for Health Statistics, which is a very interesting website. And the other is the ultimately is the relationship between the consumers and the government, such as online petitions, licensing and permit applications, such as fishing licensing or permit hunting, uh, payment of fines and fees, online uh, online donations, and online petitions. Okay, so all of that is just to understand what an e-commerce is and the different types of e-commerce, as well as the actors involved in there. So where and how does an e-commerce takes place? This is on the mobile sphere, the enterprise e-commerce, or the social media. Okay, so with that, then I look at the competitor analysis, a quick competitor analysis, based on the most, or based on the top companies in that industry, like Alibaba, IKEA, Shopify, eBay, Walmart, Alibaba, and also the keyword research from that to understand what's going on in that industry. most of the time is selling websites, themes for Shopify, uh, point of sales. And now I reach to this point, okay? To how to create effective and appealing consumer reports. So I'm going to leave that right now, uh, because after all, by making this quick recap of this entire course, is to really understand that okay, all of this fundamental that I learned to get to building a consulting career, as well as uh, the things that you need to build. So the fundamentals to get started as a the fundamental to get started building a consulting career, and then I'm getting started uh, as a freelance consultant or a business consultant. Then understand is where to find and land and pay consulting clients, and ultimately here is, or this last model is to okay, how to create a how to create a how to conduct a research and gather, yeah, how to conduct a proper research is in this section. So once I look at that, all right, uh, I'm going to leave that for now. uh, so that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.